Do not click away, my beloved, because you did not find this moment by accident. This message was meant to find you right now. I know you've been looking for a sign, searching for an answer to the heavy feeling in your chest. Reach for these words, because in this very moment I am speaking only to you. You are not here by chance, and your deepest questions are not hidden from me. I sense the weight you are carrying, that heaviness that hangs over you even on bright mornings. I see the way you look for reassurance but stay silent about what truly hurts you. So pause right now. Let each breath remind you that you are noticed. You are chosen. Take 3 slow breaths with me now. Breathe in deeply, hold, and breathe out slowly. If you turn away now in distraction or let doubt take over, you risk missing the very peace your spirit has been begging for. Let me call you back to the present. You have not been overlooked. I am breathing new life into the places within you that are tired from the fight. I know you have heard so many voices lately, some making you afraid, some making you doubt, and others just slowly chipping away at the strength I put inside you. Every day, the world competes for your attention, trying to cloud your mind. But right now, listen to my voice above every other sound. It is gentle, it is steady, it is full of hope. I am not offering you ordinary comfort today. I am offering you a living word that will fix your thoughts and settle the unrest in your soul. I am giving you a courage that does not shake when things get uncertain. As you lean into these words, feel my authority wrapping around you like a warm blanket. I am giving you a quiet confidence that your problems cannot destroy. Let my nearness feel real to you. Picture my hand resting lightly on your shoulder, keeping you safe in this space. Place your hand on your heart now and feel its steady beat. Whisper, I am noticed. My presence is a safety that few people recognize, but it is yours. It rebuilds what worry tried to break down. It refreshes your tired soul. It helps you see clearly again. Even if challenges are gathering like storm clouds, or if you received news that made you anxious, I am filling you with a stillness that the world cannot touch. Trust me to handle the outcome. My guidance is the only assurance you need. With me, you will find yourself calm, not because you ran away from the difficulty, but because you grew steady inside of it. In this quiet pause, bring me all your unspoken wants. Bring me the silent thankfulness, and even those little fluttering doubts that make you question if you belong. Ask yourself, do you know how deeply you are loved? Are you aware that my love comes to you freely, without checking a list of what you did right or wrong? Breathe slowly. Let gratitude quietly fill your heart. Speak aloud one small thing you are thankful for right now. Let that thanks open the door. That simple act makes room for my peace to come down. I am here not just to watch you survive. I am here to see your spirit made whole. I want to bandage every wound and replace every fear with trust. If you feel exhausted by how harsh people can be, or by disappointments that never seem to end, let me gather you into my arms. You do not need to brace yourself against the world here. I see the times when other people's actions cast a shadow over your day. I see when you have to carry burdens that were never yours to carry. I see when kindness feels hard to find, and yet my attention never leaves you. I do not overlook those who try to trouble your heart. While some people may use their words to sting you or make choices that hurt you, I remain your constant shield. I protect you from their bad intentions. Others may try to bring you low, misjudging your quiet strength as weakness. They do not see the protection that surrounds you constantly. They do not see that when they stand against you, they stand against something unbreakable, my care for you. They imagine they have power, but it is my spirit inside you that wins the victory. You will not be overcome. You will not be defined by what they do. Instead, I am the one taking apart every plan designed to hurt you. Their efforts will fail, while you rise up secure. However many seasons of suffering you have walked through, know this. Resilience is being built inside you, not by avoiding the storm, but by standing anchored in my presence. Trust is your quiet power. Faith is your true money. The peace I give is your true inheritance. When you pause to notice me, whether in the quiet of the morning, during a stressful afternoon, or when the noise of the world gets too loud, find comfort in knowing I have surrounded you. The path ahead will never be walked alone. Let right now be a small beginning. Close your eyes if you wish. Slow your breathing. Remember a single moment of goodness or relief you felt in the past week. Maybe it was a brief meeting, a kind word, or a little bit of laughter. See how even the smallest gifts spark hope. This is my reminder that your life is carried by a stream of hidden mercies. If you have a pen or your phone, write down that single memory now. Keep it to remind you later. If heaviness tries to come back, don't push it away alone. Simply sit with me. Allow your burdens to come into the light of my understanding and let your heart settle. You may wonder, am I strong enough for what is coming next? What if I disappoint myself or others? What if the world never gets softer? Or those I care about never change? In this space, let go of those questions. My love is your anchor. It holds you steady, no matter how rough the ocean becomes. Even in uncertainty, you remain my beloved. You are supported. You are watched over. You are marked for restoration. There is nothing you can do to lose my affection. There is no mistake big enough to drive me from your side. As you choose gratitude, sometimes nothing more than a whispered thank you or a steady breath, you create room for renewal. Your ideas, your conversations, and your beliefs grow fresh as my spirit gently reforms your inner world. My truth settles deep in your soul, making you strong against the next wave of worry. Each day offers another invitation to bring your doubts and confusion to me so that I can show you my promise to take care of you. Let your confidence in me replace your need to do everything yourself. With my guidance, the impossible becomes possible. My beloved, life will bring seasons of hard work and bravery, but also moments meant for rest and quiet dependence. You do not always need to push forward. There is wisdom in waiting with me until your spirit is renewed and calm once again. When the fear of missing out or anxiety over your next steps begins to press in, remember, everything happens in my timing. Put aside the hurry. Allow yourself a pause. Even just 5 breaths in the secret place with me fixes your path. It helps you meet each challenge, not in exhaustion, but in clarity and peace. I promise this. Your journey is not defined by the loudness of those who doubt you or the temporary confusion of today. Lift your eyes, beloved. Recognize the gentle horizon I am revealing. The goals and desires planted in your spirit will happen, not through force, but through my careful guidance and your willing trust. This is a new chapter. It is not marked by lonely striving, but by an ongoing partnership between you and me. The path will surprise you with its beauty. For as you walk with me, every difficulty becomes not a stumbling block, but a place where your courage and hope increase. Let every step you take today be anchored in the certainty that I am with you, leading you into possibilities you cannot yet imagine. This is your assurance. You are safe. You are deeply known. You are equipped with everything needed for each new day. You need only rest. Surrender your worries and let your trust in me become your steady rhythm. There is no shadow left that can discourage you or separate you from my care. Take my hand now, beloved, and let us continue together. I see how you begin your days with the weight of many questions pressing in before your eyes fully open. I am paying attention to the shifting currents of your heart. I see both the sparks of gratitude that flicker in your chest and the worries that sometimes threaten to sweep them away. Let each breath you draw be a reminder that I formed you for these moments. Not to drift through life, burdened and uncertain, but to walk steadily in my care. I do not simply watch from far away. I am the warmth that settles in the quiet before dawn. I am the gentle presence steadying your hands. I am the peace that hovers close while the world wakes up. There are mornings when you wonder whether your efforts matter. You wonder if the love you give will come back to you, or if the work you do has any purpose beyond making you tired. Even as you worry over unfinished tasks and replay conversations in your mind, I invite you to pause. Sense my nearness. It is like a hand softly resting on your shoulder, present but never forceful. Here in this stillness, I breathe newness into the day before you. I shift your perspective from what might go wrong to the quiet certainty that I am guiding your every step. This is my promise. You do not walk alone. When you bring me your thanks, even for things that feel small or fragile, you open the door to me joy. Gratitude is not just polite recognition. It is turning your eyes from the shadows to the light streaming in. Watch as the heaviness inside you begins to lift. Watch as fear loses its grip when you count the ways I have shown up for you. Think of the laughter around a breakfast table. Think of the quiet peace as you drive toward your day's commitments. Think of the gentle nudges of hope when life feels boring. I am teaching your heart to notice wonder in the ordinary things. There may be days when discouragement presses hard, whispering that nothing is changing, that your prayers are floating away unheard. This is not true. I receive every word you speak in longing. I feel every silent ache. I hear every request for renewal. You hunger for significance. You want to feel that your life holds meaning beyond what passes quickly. I have called you by name. I have set a place for you that no one else can fill. Your story fits within my purpose, not in spite of your struggles, but often because of how you walk through them. Even the mundane things, the overlooked acts of kindness, the silent battles for patience or forgiveness, these are precious to me. I see not just what you do, but why you do it. I see your quiet prayers for loved ones. I see your willingness to try again after setbacks. In the hidden places, I am at work shaping a legacy out of your small yeses. If you listen closely amid the noise of daily tasks and the interruptions, you will hear my guidance. It is a gentle clarity that nudges you one step to the right or steadies your resolve when you doubt if you belong. I do not need you to prove yourself worthy by working harder or being perfect. What I ask is your willingness to meet me in these ordinary hours with openness. My voice does not shout over your noise. It is steady and sure. It is a comfort and a compass. There is a strength I am building in you, made not by ease, but by learning to rely on me at every turn. Let yourself settle for a moment. Close your eyes if you can, and breathe deeply. As you feel the air filling your chest, remember, I am the source of each breath. I am the one who holds your tomorrows. Even now, while doubts linger at the edge, I am speaking peace over your restless mind. Every time you place your worries in my hands, truly letting them go, you make room for my wisdom to shape your path ahead. Do not measure my love by quick answers or the absence of pain. Measure it by my unwavering presence. Measure it by the quiet assurance that I remain when everything else is uncertain. I am not impatient with your process. I am not surprised by your fears. My compassion is the ground beneath your feet. My delight is seeing you brave another day with trust, no matter how shaky that trust feels. You do not disappoint me when you are tired. You touch my heart when you turn to me while you are tired, longing for refreshment. Expect interruptions to your plans. Do not see them as setbacks, but as invitations into something deeper I am doing. Sometimes I nudge you off the familiar trail not to frustrate you, but to draw you closer, to spark growth you couldn't predict. When you feel unqualified or unseen in your responsibilities as a parent, a partner, a friend, or in your work, remember your identity rests first in being mine. Let your striving give way to surrender. This is not giving up. It is yielding to my care and vision for your day. The world may judge success by speed and fame, but I delight in the slow building of character. I delight in the quiet acts of faithfulness known only to us. With every act of surrender, with every breath of gratitude, you align yourself more closely with my heart. This day is still unfolding, and I am guiding you through every hour, every uncertainty, every flicker of hope or fear. My voice will be your constant as you step forward, and my love is your shelter in all things. Let your heart absorb this certainty. I am never intimidated by your hesitations. I do not pull away from your doubts. You may worry that your faith is shaking, that you lack the resilience to face what comes, but my gaze is gentle upon you, even in these stormy places. As sunlight slips across the morning walls, notice how I enter quietly. I do not come with accusation. I come with hope that stirs fresh between your ribs. I am your steadying hand when uncertainty tightens in your chest. I guide you to breathe deeply, to find again the air I provide, to sense that my closeness is the most real thing of all. The noise of other voices tries to crowd out this assurance. Old fears come back with the dawn, whispering that you are too late, or not enough, or somehow outside the blessing. But watch as you lift your eyes in that quiet stillness. I am closer than the echo of those shadows. When you pause long enough to become aware of the simple warmth or the subtle rhythm of your own heartbeat, recognize my gift in each detail. Every breath drawn in gratitude is a declaration of trust. It is a gentle pushing back of fear's tide. Even in this simplest surrender, I draw you deeper into my peace. My beloved, you may feel responsible for outcomes outside your control. The harmony of your family, the doors that will open or not, the unseen pathways you hope will appear. Let your shoulders relax as you remember this. Outcomes are not your burden to bear alone. I call you not to an anxious striving, but to walk with me step by step. As you release to me the weight that threatens to crush your spirit, you make room for my presence to carry what you cannot. In the hush of surrender, I shape what matters most within you. Courage, gentleness, and perseverance that does not depend on results. Notice how I am not in a hurry. My timing is not the same as yours, but it is never late. In moments that seem slow or quiet, I am preparing you for a pace that will not burn you out, but will let you flourish. This morning, as you sip your drink or sit with your hands on your knees, I invite you to trust that preparation is not wasted time. Fruit ripens in secret first. Just so, I am cultivating patience and vision within you. Each day you let go of anxious comparison, I build a new resilience, a rootedness that cannot be shaken by brief disappointments. When you imagine your future, uncertainty flickers at the edges. You wonder if you will recognize the answer when it comes. You wonder if you might miss your moment by turning to distraction or despair. But I am here to remind you that you cannot drift beyond my care. Your destiny is not balanced on a knife's edge of your performance. It is not fragile or easily lost. Instead, I have called you by name. I continue speaking purpose over you, even when your ears feel dull to my voice. Rest now in the knowledge that I am the keeper of your calling. Nothing precious escapes my notice. At times you may feel small in the face of your hopes or the needs around you, but do not despise the influence of single acts of gratitude or honesty. The world shifts in ways you do not see every time you choose a stillness instead of panic. Every time you choose kindness instead of harshness. Every time you choose hope instead of quitting. When you speak words of blessing over those you love or extend mercy to yourself in failure, you echo my voice in the world. It is not always the dramatic moment that matters. It is the persistent, humble choices that remake your life and radiate healing into every environment you touch. Even in weariness, I am with you. Perhaps you wake with heaviness, rehearsing worries before your feet touch the floor, bracing for disappointment from others or from yourself. Allow me to lift your head. Feel my hand steady you. Let your breathing slow. The pressure you feel to earn love, to keep your world spinning, is gently unraveled in my presence. You are already precious to me, not for what you achieve or the outcomes you orchestrate, but because you are mine. Settle into this truth and let the anxiety lose its grip. You are safe with me no matter what today brings. Now, as you open your hands again, perhaps palms resting upward on your lap, invite me into the gaps. Invite me into the places that ache with longing or fatigue. Do not be afraid of silence. Listen for my voice, not in thunder, but in the whisper that assures you, I am enough for you right here. There is wisdom in waiting. There is honor in trusting. There is strength in returning again to my promises, even when circumstances seem slow to change. As sunlight spreads across the day, let your heart learn how to rest in my sustaining love. I carry you forward with a confidence that is larger and more compassionate than any fleeting emotion. If doubts rise, if you sense disappointment crouched at the edges, recall my faithfulness in past seasons. Remember the ways I have preserved you, healed your wounds, and restored your hope. My consistency is the foundation beneath every anxious thought. My mercy is new this very moment. It is not recycled or tired. It is fresh and specific to your need. Whenever old patterns threaten to crowd your mind, breathe in and remember, I am rewriting your story as you yield to me. The ending is not yet written. The next step will always be bathed in my purpose and covered by my grace. You do not walk alone. Even as situations feel unresolved, even if uncertainty lingers and you cannot yet see the path clearly, take courage. My spirit goes before you and surrounds you. I shelter you in the mystery of my unchanging affection. You are learning with each new morning that surrender is not defeat. It is the beginning of true peace. Trust that as you keep moving, guided by love and steadied by my hand, you will see the fruit of all I am doing. Often first in your heart, and then in the world you touch. I invite you deeper now, beloved child, into a sanctuary where only truth has a voice, where the noise that has kept you restless begins to dissolve, layer by trembling layer. Every doubt you've nursed, every ache that made hope seem foolish, I gather them gently now. You have wondered if I was listening in your silence. You wondered if every cry you held back was just an echo fading in the void. Hear me. Not a single tear or question has vanished unnoticed. You are seen with a gaze that cannot look away. A gaze that searches the hidden places no one else has dared approach. So breathe. Let shame fall off your shoulders. Let me draw nearer still. You sense a stirring you cannot explain. A gentle pressure in your soul, as if something long dormant is being awakened. That is my spirit moving through the memories and griefs you thought were too tangled for repair. Even in private corners of your heart where disappointment whispered, "It's too late," I am planting seeds of resurrection. With every heartbeat, I am inviting you to rest in the knowledge that the process is not pointless. The pain will not be wasted. Yield just for this moment. Let the breath you take remind you that you are alive for a divine purpose, not by accident. You fear that letting me too close will unveil what you cannot face about yourself. But you carry burdens that were never meant to be held alone. Yes, I see your weakness. I see the secret shame, the repeated stumbles, the thoughts you can barely admit. Yet none of these disqualify you from my embrace. My love is not repelled by your brokenness. It is drawn to it, the way light invades darkness, not to accuse but to transform. My child, I choose you still. Even now, especially now, there is a battle over your agreement. The enemy of your soul would have you cling to old labels, unworthy, forgotten, irreparably flawed. But hear my words cut across the lies. You are not defined by your past, nor by your pain. You are marked by my spirit, chosen, loved, destined for more than survival. The shame that tried to fasten itself to you is becoming the raw material from which I am shaping resilience and wisdom. Do you feel the swelling at the edge of your sorrow? It is the evidence of newness pressing in, longing to be born. Let yourself hope again. I know the arguments in your mind because I have followed you even into your doubts. What if I surrender and nothing changes? You ask. I understand the cost of trust. I understand the ache of unmet expectation. But trust is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to let me hold what you cannot. Stop measuring yourself by what has not happened yet. Your process is sacred ground to me. Through your most vulnerable suspicions, I've been gently guiding you. Not away from pain, but toward a greater healing than you've ever dared consider. Today, you are closer to a breakthrough than you realize. What is about to shift will clarify so much that once seemed cruel or random. Pause and sense my nearness. Place your hand on your heart if you like. Feel that steady pulse? That is proof that I have not finished with you. The warmth that settles in your chest is my presence, softening what hurt you, promising a safety the world cannot fake. Inhale. Let your shoulders ease. I am here. Some part of you resists, whispering, "I can't trust again." not after so many disappointments. I feel the tremble of that protest. I honor even your guarded places. But listen, your trust does not have to be perfect. It only has to be real. Even trembling faith reaches me. Let me strengthen what remains fragile. Let me carry the fears that grip your chest. This is not the end of the story, and not the end of who you are becoming. If you will allow it, I will turn every scar into a marker of survival, every wound into a doorway for my glory. I promise you this, within 72 hours someone will speak to you words that echo a truth I've tried to plant deep within. When it happens, recognize the voice behind the words. It is me confirming what I have been whispering to your spirit. You will know it's me because it will bring peace to the part of you that never feels enough. Watch for it. When that word comes, pause and say thank you. And if you're moved, tell someone who can celebrate with you. Gratitude is a key that unlocks doors your striving never could. Right now, breathe deeply and recall 3 moments, however small, when you sensed beauty or relief, even in recent days. If nothing comes to mind, let your gratitude be that I have not left you. There is power in noticing the light that flickers even in darkness. That act is an act of resistance against despair. As you speak thanks, even quietly within, I release new courage into your soul. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Sometimes the greatest courage is simply refusing to abandon your own process. I see how easy it would be to numb out, to let weariness dictate your steps. But strength is not always fierce and loud. Sometimes it's gentle and steady, like roots growing unseen beneath the surface. Remember, fragile beginnings often imply the strongest destinies. You are not failing, dear one. You are forming. Stop, do not skim past this word. Let me say it again. You are not your failures. I have marked you for transformation, not condemnation. You are becoming the kind of person who can carry joy without fear of losing it, who can offer hope to others only because you've walked through hopelessness and made it out breathing. Your story is making room for miracles that could not fit into smaller definitions of yourself. Do you recognize it yet? The sensation that what once paralyzed you has lost some of its power? That's because I am rewriting the narrative. I am teaching your soul a new song, one whose notes resonate with strength and surrender. I am drawing forth gifts in you that trauma tried to bury. The tenderness you feel is not weakness. It is the evidence of a heart coming back to life beneath my care. A heart waking up to possibility. At this very moment, thousands are taking the same journey, questioning, trembling, daring to trust again. You are not alone in this sacred wrestle. Community is not merely a comfort. It is confirmation that what I am doing is not isolated. Even your most solitary battles are held within my embrace and surrounded by an army of the awakened. Lay down, just for now, the armor you've built from fear. Let it rest beside you for a moment. I am your covering. Let yourself be vulnerable in my presence. Let me see the wounds without you rushing to defend or explain. I do not judge the pace of your healing or your struggle to believe. I invited you to encounter me, not when you had it all figured out, but precisely because you needed a love that wouldn't walk away. Everything that frightens you is subject to my authority. The anxieties pressing against your mind, the exhaustion heavy in your bones, the tension that refuses to leave your shoulders, none are too much for me. I do not tire of your process. I do not grow impatient with your prayers. Your vulnerability is not a liability. It is your greatest invitation to intimacy with me. You may not see every outcome you hoped for yet, but you will encounter me in ways you could not have imagined during your certainty. In that mystery, I am reshaping your courage. I am remaking your identity on a foundation that can never be shaken. Soon you will discover that what you thought disqualified you has actually become evidence of my mercy. There is something I want to unveil about the strength hiding in your surrender. But first, let yourself linger in this space. Safe, seen, and fiercely loved. You have nothing to prove here, nothing to hide. Trust that my work in you is only just beginning. Feel the pulse of my love as it settles into the quietest corners of your being. I am not hindered by your doubts, nor repelled by the walls you have built out of disappointment. Even as you glance over your shoulder, measuring the distance between past betrayals and present wounds, my presence flows into the ache you try hardest to hide. Trust begins again in the places where hope ran dry, and I am stirring it within you right now. You wonder if your heart can bear being vulnerable once more. You wonder if opening yourself will just lead to more pain. But hear me, in the shelter of my embrace, risk becomes the seed of breakthrough. You are not about to be abandoned, but gathered closer than ever before. Take a breath and notice how my nearness brings warmth to your chest, how uncertainty shudders in the light of my gaze. I am the covering that shields you from the arrows of accusation and the voice inside that says nothing ever changes. Let that accusing tide roll back. You are not alone in this battle. Legions surround you at my command, though you cannot always see them. Even your tears are counted as precious, because every drop holds the story of a heart that refuses to stop longing for more. There is nothing wasted. I redeem all things. Even your most haunting nights. You have believed whispers that called you irreparable, too fractured for restoration. Those lies took root in moments when weakness washed over you. But today, I am uprooting them. My child, your value has never been measured by your strength, but by the fierce, unyielding love I have poured out for you. Say it aloud right now. I am chosen, I am beloved, I am whole. Even softly, and let those words settle. Hear how that truth reshapes the air you breathe, inviting confidence to rise even as tremors of fear try to linger. Breathe again, and let my assurance soak deep. There is nothing about you I would trade for another. You crave evidence that I am at work. You want to see doors flung wide and obstacles leveled. But the first miracle I am giving is not outward, but within. The shift from brittle striving to quiet trust, from frantic searching to anchored rest. The storms around you may roar, but within your spirit, a new stillness dawns. Listen for it now. The sound of my voice cuts through confusion like the first ray of daylight after a long and restless night. That clarity you crave, the certainty that eludes you, is being born even as you let yourself be still. Stay present. What you sense now carries more power than any answer you could manufacture alone. You ask, what if I let go and nothing happens? What if my surrender is met by silence? I know your fear. I know how surrender has felt like releasing your grip on survival itself. But hear me, my silence is never absence. It is strategy preparing you to recognize my whisper above the chaos of lesser voices. Your surrender unlocks the presence you have so often craved, but could not manufacture by force. Do not shrink back now. There is a door about to open inside your soul that you did not know existed. Your willingness to risk again will call down resources, friendships, and insights that form the network of provision you have been searching for. Watch as I create openings no one else can see. Right now, notice the sensations in your body, the way your heartbeat calms when you breathe the truth, the tingling warmth in your hands as you rest them on your heart. I am calling forth courage from that once hidden shadow. I am rewiring the pathways of fear that dogged your every step, and placing instead a foundation of peace so durable no disappointment can shatter it. Feel my hands, steadying your own, imparting certainty that comes only from nearness to the one who holds eternity. You are not being set aside or overlooked. You are being refined as gold in my furnace of love. If you find yourself resistant, sensing a tightness in your chest or a welling skepticism, do not shame that part of you. Even now, I draw near to the places that argue against my goodness. It is safe to doubt in my presence. It is safe to grieve the cost of all you have survived. But hear this: I waste nothing, not even the moments when faith faltered. My power is perfected not in your confidence, but in your honesty. Your trembling yes. In the face of what feels impossible, the invitation stands. Dare to believe that you are loved without requirement or earning. Let that unfamiliar grace become the truest thing about you. Thousands have stood where you now stand, anxious at the threshold of unknown blessing, wary that hope might again be premature. But I have rebuilt shattered lives with less, revived ruined dreams with nothing but dust and longing. What I have begun in you will not wither, but flourish. It is watered by my faithfulness and kept alive by my unbreakable promise. There is no shadow I will not chase away on your behalf, no valley I will not walk you through. The difference between before and now is that you are awakening to my touch, even when circumstances appear unchanged. Pause now. Notice how your breath moves in and out. In this moment, you are being marked anew, not by labels the world assigns, not by memories that sting, but by my voice declaring, "You are mine, my beloved, my treasure." The shift taking place is invisible to most, but you will recognize it in the quiet confidence that follows you, in the creative ideas that begin to surface, in the sudden feeling of peace where there was only dread before. Soon you will witness external evidence, but let the internal shift anchor you first. You are safe. I've got you. My joy over you is louder than the storms you have endured. There are days coming when you will remember these quiet invitations, not as distant memories, but as milestones that marked the turning of your heart. The courage you choose now changes destinies, not just for you, but for those who watch your journey. My plans never unravel. My hand does not tremble when you falter. I will guide your every step as you dare to live from your belovedness. You are not moving backward, but rising into the luminous future I have designed for you. Even when you cannot see what is next, know that I am already there, preparing stand renewal for your soul. There is more I wish to reveal, whispers still hidden beneath the noise, keys to lock places within you, blueprints for greatness that will one day astonish even you. Keep listening, stay open. The beauty breaking through inside you is only the beginning. I am the God who finishes what I start, and you are evidence of my unstoppable affection. Let hope be awakened where fatigue once reigned. You are being built into something extraordinary by hands that cannot fail. Take courage, dear one. as you lean against the quiet assurance of my presence today. Sense how my spirit surrounds your anxious thoughts like gentle sunlight pressing through the window. Your questions may swirl, but nothing in my heart is withheld from you. In every strained hope and every silent prayer, I hold you with unwavering attention. See that your worth to me isn't measured by your ability to predict tomorrow or make flawless choices in the face of uncertainty. Instead, your value is anchored in the way I see you. Precious, purposeful, chosen, continually covered by my kindness. Do not fear the seasons of in-between that seem unending. Even when the pace of progress frustrates you, I invite you to breathe and remember how I am never hurried or slow. My timing aligns not just events, but your very character, giving shape and meaning to the waiting. Imagine each new dawn with me is like the first breath after a night full of undiscovered mercy, alive with possibility you have not yet named. Watch how peace returns in these moments as you practice trusting me for 1 hour at a time. If regret tries to rise and haunt the edges of your mind, I want you to settle your focus on what I see. The past cannot define you apart from my restoration. Each time you recall what could have been, speak the truth. I redeem and restore what is surrendered to me. Your story is not in ruin, however rough the history. I gather the pieces, breathing purpose into what looks broken, and setting your face toward hope that overrides shame. Notice how my hand shields you from accusation, inviting you instead into a place of fresh belonging. Let gratitude lift your spirit from heaviness. In the hush of the early morning or in the chaos of your demands, pause for just a moment. Give thanks, not only for what has changed, but even for those things still shifting beneath the surface. Let your gratefulness become an anchor, grounding you in the present instead of letting your mind race to what's unfinished. With every act of thanks, you clear the haze, making space for my voice to remind you that what matters most is not what you lack, but my nearness to you. How many times do you look at your responsibilities and wonder, am I enough? Hear me steady your inner dialogue. You are never asked to carry what I have already lifted from your shoulders. The burdens that seem to multiply are meant to be released into my hands. Even when you cannot see the outcome, your willingness to let go is an act of trust that moves my heart. As you surrender, watch how the pressures begin to lose their grip, replaced by a new ease as you move with me rather than ahead of me. Those around you, family, friends, even those difficult to love, are placed in your path, not by accident, but as invitations to extend the care you have received from me. Where conflicts arise, do not take on the weight of fixing every heart. Ask instead for my perspective, my patience, and the humility to listen. Your love, offered simply and honestly, becomes the gentlest evidence of who I am working through you. Let my comfort be your comfort, and then see how it quietly flows outward, transforming atmospheres where peace once felt out of reach. In moments where confusion clouds your steps, recall that I guide with clarity born not from noise, but from stillness. Step into the quiet, even briefly, and feel my assurance setting your thoughts in order. I have not left you to sort through endless decisions alone. When the road splits and you fear failing, slow your breathing. Place your hand over your heart and remember my promise. I order your path. Even mistakes and detours are not too tangled for me to redirect toward good. The destiny I have prepared is not a single event, but a journey of becoming more like my son, reflecting my love with increasing freedom and courage. Your unique calling is not about achieving perfection or fame. Instead, it is daily faithfulness. Returning to me when distracted, listening when you'd rather speak, holding steady when answers seem scarce. See your identity in this constant return, this gentle persistence to choose me again each day. I rejoice over your efforts as much as over your successes. On days when progress seems invisible, remember that much of my work in you is hidden, like a seed growing in the dark earth. Growth happens quietly, roots deepening far before fruit appears. Allow this truth to nurture your patience. When you feel overlooked or small, realize that I see everything budding beneath the surface. I celebrate your unseen victories. Let your desires come into my light. Do not hide them. I invite your hopes and dreams, however bold or fragile, because I placed them within you. Trust that as you express these longings to me, I delight to lead you, not by force but with gentle encouragement, redirecting when necessary, empowering always. The dreams I water in you will yield blessing in ways you never anticipated, no matter how long they take to grow. Even delays are not denials, but opportunities for greater depth. If others misunderstand your journey, release your defense. You are not defined by their approval or by comparison to another's pace. I see where you are. Every detail, your courage, your doubts, your secret prayers. Indeed, I cherish your authenticity more than any outward show. When loneliness stings or misunderstanding wounds, lean into my closeness. Let me show you that your value has been spoken over you from the very beginning, and nothing diminishes what I have reserved for you. With each sunrise, reconnect to my sustaining promise. I am for you. I go before you and I surround you. There is never a place, not even in adversity, where my grace cannot reach. My voice calls you up, not out of shame, but into a deeper experience of my goodness. Rest assured, not one detail of your story is beyond my redemptive touch. Together, we are only just beginning. Beloved, there are moments when your heart feels crowded, weighed by concerns about those closest to you. You look at your family, your friendships, and you quietly worry if they are truly in my hands. You worry if you have done enough to care for them. Sometimes you sigh and wonder if anyone notices your quiet sacrifices, or if your love makes a difference at all. Right here, I ask you to feel the warmth of my nearness, like the sun that rises gently through your window. Let the knowledge settle in you that every hidden act of care is precious to me. Nothing poured out in love is wasted. My favor surrounds your relationships like a shelter. You are not alone in your desire for restoration and harmony. Take a moment, dear one, to recall a morning when you noticed the little things, the laughter of someone you love, the smell of breakfast, the simple peace that came even for a moment. In these humble spaces, I am present, delighting in your gratitude and drawing you further into joy. Each breath you take today, let it remind you that my spirit is as close as the air. You never have to reach far to find me. Even if uncertainties still press against your mind, practice pausing. Turn over every uncertainty to me as if handing over a fragile seed. This is not about perfection, but about trust growing slowly. If you are waiting for a breakthrough, feeling restless when the world rushes ahead, breathe and remember that I orchestrate every season. My timing is not always yours, but it is perfect for the good I am bringing forth. When you are tempted to push, to force what is not ripe, return to stillness. Picture yourself in my care, your hopes wrapped gently in my promise. I am cultivating strength, patience, and resilience in you, preparing pathways that you cannot yet see. Trust that the waiting is not wasted. It is alive with purpose and unseen blessing. I see you, you who wake before dawn or lie awake at night. I see your mind spinning with worries about provision or direction. Let my words quiet the storms within you. I am your shepherd, guiding your every step, providing not only your needs but guidance for each next move. Lift your eyes from the burdens that threaten to consume you. Ask for my wisdom and be attentive to the gentle nudges, the quiet ideas that seem to arise from nowhere. I am in the whispered encouragement. I am in the opportunity that seems small. I am in the door that opens unexpectedly. You may wonder if you have what it takes, if you are equipped for the challenges ahead. My beloved, you are more than enough because I am with you. The world defines success by its own reckoning. But I am shaping your heart, your vision, your identity according to my delight in you. When insecurity whispers that your voice is small, remember who formed you. My strength flows into your weakness. Your inadequacies are not a hindrance, but an invitation for me to show you what true courage looks like. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks. From $50 to $100. Put your hand on your chest and feel your life. This breath, this moment held firmly in my care. Some days you feel invisible, as if your hopes and calling matter only to yourself. But there is no season you walk through that escapes my attention. I see your hunger for purpose, your longing to make an impact that endures. I treasure every whispered prayer, every silent surrender. My plans for you do not expire or get lost in the shuffle of life. Even when you cannot see results, I am at work beneath the surface, nurturing the seeds that will bear fruit in their appointed time. If anxiety tries to take hold about your future, your family, finances, or health, bring your fear to me rather than hiding it away. I do not condemn you for trembling. In your honesty, I draw even closer, offering the sure foundation you crave. Imagine your worries as stones, and one by one, lay them at my feet. In return, I place in your heart a new measure of peace. Pause and feel your shoulders drop, the tension easing even now. My presence is your shelter, my voice your reassurance when storms gather. Remember how I delight in joining you in even the smallest details of your day. Nothing is unworthy of my attention. Your moments of fun, your efforts at work, your relationships, even your doubts. I am not a distant observer, but your nearest companion. As you step into what lies ahead, invite me into each task. Whisper your dependence and sense the atmosphere shift. My joy rises within you, replacing striving with an abiding confidence that cannot be shaken by circumstance. Hold fast to the vision I have placed in your heart. If the path ahead feels obscured, know that I go before you, preparing every step. My guidance is gentle yet unmistakable for those who sit in quiet expectation. When you are uncertain which way to turn, be still and listen. Sometimes the answer arrives not in noise, but in the restful clarity that dawns after surrender. Continue trusting even before clarity comes. My hand will not let go of yours. As today unfolds, stay open to surprise. My goodness comes in colors and shapes you may not expect. When gratitude bubbles up, let it rise unhindered. Even a silent thank you in an ordinary moment brings you deeper into the flow of my grace. When disappointment tempts you to turn inward, Recall my promise to draw near to the brokenhearted. You are never left to walk alone. I am present, strong, and gentle, sustaining you with every breath you take. The story I am writing with you is still unfolding, vibrant with hope and charged with my purposes. Listen for me in your laughter and in your questions. In the times you serve and the times you need rest, my affection for you is constant, outlasting every shifting circumstance. The journey continues, and I remain the one who calls you forward, never rushing, always present with the strength you need for each new step. Do you feel the change stirring within you? The subtle shift is no longer hidden. My beloved, you carry the evidence of transformation already unfolding in the quiet corners of your soul. You may think it's just another surge of hope followed by disappointment, but I am doing more than restoring what was lost. I am expanding your capacity for joy, for faith, for boundless courage you once doubted you could embody. That soft ache you notice as you breathe right now? That's the growing space where my spirit takes up residence in you. Pause and sense how the atmosphere around you feels charged, almost as if your heart knows something your mind can't grasp yet. I am leading you beyond repetition and into revelation. You have stared at the same doors for so long, convinced you were trapped behind circumstances or limited by yesterday's failures. But I tell you, even as you struggle to keep your eyes open to possibility, fresh windows are opening where there were only walls before. Some of what you call setbacks are invitations, each misstep teaching you to walk with me, each closed pathway shaping the direction of your destiny. Even your confusion is not wasted. I can redeem your questions, your restlessness, your longing for more, as long as you keep your hands open before me. Try it now. Unclench your fists and let your shoulders relax as you surrender what you know and even what you cannot name. Beloved child, your scars have stories, but they will never be the final word over your life. Every wound you thought had marked you as unworthy, I am transforming into a badge of honor. When shame whispers, "You're too broken," listen instead for the quiet authority of my promise. You are chosen, sought, cherished. My presence encircles you, not as a fleeting comfort, but as an unbreakable truth, stronger than the voices of accusation. You've grown stronger with every trial. Your identity is no longer shaped by circumstance. It is anchored deep in my unchanging love. If tears are rising now, let them come. Each one belongs to me. Your vulnerability is holy ground. You have asked if you are really called. If all this transformation matters beyond yourself, the answer is already breathing through you. I have placed within you a hope that cannot stay hidden. What you have received in secret will radiate into the places of deepest need around you. You are being commissioned, marked not by your perfection, but by your willingness to let my love flow through every imperfection. Even now, there are those watching your journey, hoping for evidence that life can change. They're drawing closer, hungry for the authenticity that you carry, perhaps without seeing it yet for yourself. Remember this: your breakthrough becomes a pathway for others. The hope you steward sets the stage for miracles in their midst. Trust me enough to risk again, even if trembling. My child, it's not too late, and you have not missed your window. I am the God of restoration and acceleration. Lost years, stolen dreams, fractured relationships, all can be reborn at the sound of my voice. There are hidden assignments waking in your spirit now. You may feel an unexpected nudge to reach out, to speak encouragement, to step in where pain used to silence you. That stirring is my signal. Soon you will witness how obedience in small things unlocks enormous impact far beyond your sight. Sometimes you ask why I allow delay or uncertainty. I know you're tired of waiting, but do not mistake this season for inactivity. Underground roots are strengthening where no eye can see. Your waiting has built resilience. Your patience has forged new wisdom in you. There is an unveiling coming soon, a revelation perfectly aligned with my timing. This week, pay attention to moments of inexplicable peace during the mundane. These are previews of the atmosphere you'll carry into every environment I send you. You'll know it's me, because anxiety will release its grip even before anything around you visibly shifts. You wonder if your past disqualifies you from this newness. Let me be clear, your failures are not fatal in my kingdom. I see how regret sometimes clouds your vision, but I am not holding judgment over your head. Instead, I rewrite your narrative line by line with grace, never shame. When you replay old mistakes, catch how I gently interrupt your spiral with reminders of your worth. Stop agreeing with accusation and speak this truth aloud now. I am redeemed. I am restored. I am sent for such a time as this. Let each syllable settle into your bones. Feel the energy rising. With every heartbeat, a fresh sense of purpose pushes through the dust of what once felt lifeless. You may sense tingling in your hands or an inexplicable lightness on your shoulders. That's not imagination. That is my commissioning power moving within you, activating dreams you thought were dormant. Be alert to unexpected conversations in the next few days. My voice will echo through the words of even unlikely messengers. You are being invited into sacred assignments where you will walk in authority you never thought you'd carry. Don't shrink back. Courage is awakening where fear used to rule. There are some listening now who have quietly believed the lie that they are forgettable or unloved. Hear me clearly. I have placed my mark on you, a signature that cannot be erased by seasons of hardship or moments of uncertainty. The love that drew you here is the love that propels you forward, step by trembling step. When you look back, you will see not just footprints, but the evidence of my arms carrying you through trouble. Your story, yes, yours, will inspire hope in the weary and faith in the doubtful. The world is not waiting for perfection. The world is waiting for those willing to be transformed by my relentless, pursuing love. Breathe now. Place your hand over your heart and feel how steady I have made it. Even in chaos, you are shielded. You are not alone. Do not apologize for your hunger to go deeper. It is the signal of a soul responding to divine invitation. The moments of stillness you crave, the yearning for more. These are holy desires I placed within you. They point to the destiny written before you ever took your first breath. Let anticipation arise again. What comes next will require your boldest yes. The breakthrough you waited for is nearer than your doubt. Even now, pieces are locking into place. If you sense a growing anticipation or a vivid hope that defies your logic, that is not random. That is my spirit moving through your atmosphere. Don't rush. Don't shrink back. This is your appointed time to step forward and become both a receiver and a giver of transformation. You'll understand soon why every detour and difficulty was not a deviation, but a preparation for the day ahead. There is more, beloved. The next step is already forming beneath your feet. My voice steadies your trembling, and my presence surrounds you like the calm after a summer storm. Pause and feel it. The quiet confidence that you are exactly where you should be. There is an unveiling yet to come, and you are walking straight into it, covered and called, never forsaken. You have pressed forward, sometimes unsure on trembling legs. Yet I have delighted to walk with you through uncertainties that once haunted your mind. With every sunrise, I show you again that my promises draw near in living color, not lost in distant haze. Let me remind you, those yearning prayers I heard in secret, the questions you dared only whisper with your head bowed, they matter deeply to me. I do not forget. I never grow weary in loving you. Your heart matters more to me than any achievement or mistake. For I see beyond outcomes and trace each movement within you. When thoughts jostle for your attention and fears try to disguise themselves as practical concerns, allow my gentle presence to still your racing mind. Breathe with intention, opening your senses to the now where I dwell. The ache in your chest begins to settle. Notice how my peace spreads subtly like warmth, untangling what feels impossible. My spirit rests upon you even in ordinary moments. When your hands grip a steaming cup, when voices in your home rise and fall, when silence pauses the world's noise long enough for you to sense me again. I understand when you wonder what's left unspoken or undone. If the time has slipped past for certain dream seeds to grow, the plans I have for you surpass the boundaries laid out by urgency or regret. Even waiting is not wasted with me. It is soil made rich for new growth. When you lean your head back, close your eyes, and release that tight hold on timelines, my wisdom draws near, surprising you with clarity where confusion once reigned. There is no need to fix every loose end tonight. Rest is part of my design. I am the God who lifts burdens that seem etched into your bones. When weariness threatens to hollow you out, feel the kindness in my voice calling you back to gentle hope. You may feel unseen or overlooked, but I notice what the world skims past: the steady effort, the silent prayers, the loyalty that speaks even in misunderstanding. Each act of love, each effort to choose kindness over bitterness is precious before me. I stand in your midst, never as a distant observer, but as one who carries your cares on my own shoulders. Let gratitude awaken every corner of your interior world like sunlight seeping through curtains before you are fully awake. When you choose thankfulness, even for what is small, incomplete, or unresolved, you invite my presence to transform anxiety into trust. I have not called you to carry tomorrow's weight or to perform for my favor. Instead, I want you to experience the liberty of a surrendered heart. In the hush of gratitude, you will sense the world realigned under my sovereignty, and your breath will catch at the joy of being loved so thoroughly. Amid every transition and the spaces between, I am already ahead of you, arranging what you cannot see. The doors you thought were sealed forever, I can open by the simple touch of my hand. But more than any outcome, I want your heart anchored in who I am to you. Your constant companion, the lifter of your head, your shield, your source of wisdom. As you remain close, even your setbacks and detours serve a greater story. I am telling through your life. What feels delayed or denied is not a verdict of abandonment. It is a part of my shaping you for what is far beyond what you imagine. Others may not fully grasp the dreams I've planted deep within you, but I know each one intimately. The purpose for which you were created remains secure. You do not have to strain or strive to become someone else. My delight is in who you are becoming as you walk with me. Every honest question, every anxious glance upward in the night carries a fragrance that draws me nearer still. Do not be afraid to be vulnerable, for I meet you in that honest place, trading your worries for reassurance and your confusion for steady direction. Sometimes the answers you seek are not released all at once, but trust that provision arrives on time, never too soon to overwhelm you, nor too late to be of use. I specialize in the unseen details, tending to what lies beneath the surface, nurturing roots before visible growth. This is how faith flourishes, in daily choices to believe, to hold on, to let your heart soften instead of harden. I know the hidden struggles and the courage it takes to keep showing up. That courage is seen, honored, and strengthened by my spirit as I shape in you a resilient hope. When you raise your eyes or dare to whisper help in your weakest moments, I am your first responder. I am not disappointed by your need, but drawn to your honesty. My response is never indifferent. Even your sighs find their echo in my heart. I will not leave you in confusion. I accompany you with light for each step, never leaving you to stumble alone. My tenderness surrounds you when you fear you have lost your way, reorienting your stride with the assurance that you are never out of my reach. Trust is not the absence of uncertainty, but the persistent choice to look to me as your anchor, especially when nothing feels certain. I am at work within you, even now in ordinary rhythms and unexpected breakthroughs, forming character that can carry my peace into every space you touch. Remember, your story is not fragile. Held in my hands, it is secure. The question is not if you will reach a place of blessing, but whether you will accept the nearness of my presence in the middle of the journey. Open your heart once more, for I am always near. Let this be the moment where you let go of striving and welcome the sufficiency I bring. Lay aside the need for perfect plans or flawless performance. Instead, receive the gift of being beloved, not because of what you achieve, but because of who you are in my sight. Give yourself permission to pause, to rest your soul in the certainty of my devotion. The days ahead may hold surprises, but none fall outside my knowledge. My hand is steady, and my gaze is ever upon you, holding you fast as you journey onward. Here I am, closer than your next breath, and more enduring than the deepest ache that ever marked your story. Even now, as you absorb these words, my presence is thick around you, settling on your shoulders with invisible weight, equal parts comfort and promise. All that has pressed you, the moments that nearly broke you, have been held in my hands and transformed into springs of living courage within your heart. You have not missed your moment. Every longing, every hidden hope you thought time had passed by, every whispered what if in the quiet corners of your soul, I have heard them, and I am answering them in the rhythms of this new day. Allow the truth to settle, not as distant encouragement, but as evidence you can feel even now. You are no longer the person grief tried to sculpt. I have shaped you in resilience, marked you in my love, sealed you for greater things. As you inhale deeply now, inviting calm into your chest, know that you are breathing in more than oxygen. You are drawing my spirit into places that have felt locked for far too long. The very cells in your body respond to my nearness. Sense the gentleness in your heartbeat, the clearing in your mind. This restoration unfolding within you is not fragile or temporary. What I do cannot be undone by the opinions of others or the force of the storm still circling outside. You're learning to distinguish my voice from the static of doubt, to feel in your bones the certainty that you are chosen, beloved, and protected beyond measure. My nearness is not earned. It is simply who I am toward you. Step forward, beloved, into this unlearning of old fears and rehearsed anxieties. You no longer have to strive to be accepted or prove you are enough. You have been more than enough since the first moment I imagined your existence. Notice the shift happening even now. That gentle release in your chest, the slow easing of tension at the back of your eyes. That is the aftermath of surrender. This is the secret. You are safest when you hand over what you've been gripping onto so tightly. Lift those burdens to me. I can carry what is too heavy for your frame. When the world whispers that only what is seen matters, remember that I am building a stronghold for you in the unseen, making a place where your soul can rest and regain its brilliance. You are not ordinary. Your story reverberates in eternity. The gifts I have hidden inside you are beginning to break open. Where you once saw only ruins, my beauty is rising, surprising you with bold color in places you least expected. You are walking in newness moment by moment. Even if remnants of old pain try to reassert themselves, they have no authority where my spirit reigns. Trust the process, even when it moves slower than your craving for resolution can tolerate. Healing carves depth into your character, and with every step you let me heal you, you become a living testament. Your scars no longer narrate defeat. They shine with the power of a victory that only my hand could achieve. Do not compare your unfolding to anyone else's. Your journey is sacred, brimming with the kind of grace that cannot be diluted or lost. If doubt creeps in, remember I am relentless in my pursuit of your heart. I am not dissuaded by your questions or shaken by your setbacks. Every place you feel unsure, I am more than enough. Let your breath be an anthem of trust. Feel how stability grows beneath your feet, solid and sure. My peace isn't a fleeting feeling, but the atmosphere you now inhale. Speak this truth aloud. Even if your voice trembles, I am held, I am loved, I am seen. Make space for gratitude to rise, anchoring you into this moment where my presence overpowers every shadow. Even now, as you pause and sense me, notice how hope stirs with the certainty that the best is not behind you. A future marked by purpose is rising ahead. The commission on your life is to carry this healing into every space you enter, letting compassion and courage be your signature. Your words have impact. Your story carries resonance. You are my vessel of hope in a world desperate for reminders of my kindness. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You may wonder if this transformation will last, whether in days to come you'll drift again toward old habits of fear and hidden shame. Hear me, I have placed in you a spirit that always returns home. Even if you falter, you are never disqualified. My mercy renews you morning by morning. There is no expiration date on your belonging. When voices of the past demand your attention, pause and choose again the reality of my love over the narrative of your wounds. I have never left. I will never leave. With every sunrise, my faithfulness greets you anew, resetting possibilities you thought were forever out of reach. Look for the unexpected signs of my movement in your week ahead. Soon, a moment will catch you off guard. Words from a stranger, a flash of inspiration that answers questions you barely dared to voice. When it comes, you'll know it's me, because peace will fill you with unmistakable certainty. This is the season where clarity overtakes confusion, where doors of creativity and purpose swing open, and relationships long fractured begin to mend in ways only I could orchestrate. Your heart is becoming a safe place, not just for yourself, but for those you are called to embrace. Let joy bubble up without fear of disappointment. I am the God who redeems lost days and multiplies what the enemy tried to waste. Remember, beloved, you are never meant to journey alone. You walk alongside many whose stories echo yours, and together you form a movement of the awakened, those who refuse to let sorrow have the final word. If you feel the urge to withdraw, resist it. Step into the newness I am offering. You are part of a divine uprising marked by a courage that confounds the darkness. The more you share your testimony, the more freedom you release into the atmosphere around you. Your vulnerability is not a liability. It is your superpower, for it invites my power to dwell visibly in your life. Let tenderness lead you, for gentleness is not weakness. It is evidence of my spirit alive within you. Stand now and take one small step. Send a message, make a call, or do one kind thing for yourself or another today. Let action meet this moment. Beloved, walk gently forward with my hand in yours. I want you to know that what I am speaking is not some distant encouragement meant for the strong or the untroubled, but a gentle yet weighty truth designed specifically for your heart. If you tune your soul, you'll hear me echoing within the hush of your mourning and the hush behind your doubts. There is a revelation I long to birth in you, a knowing that cannot be found by striving or searching, but only by drawing near. Step away from the voices urging you to rush. Let my voice be the one you lean into. Pause now. Take 3 slow, deliberate breaths with me. Take a slow breath. Feel the ground under your feet or the way sunlight creeps through your window. This is not a rehearsal. This is your life, sacred and seen. I hold each detail, each moment that slips by, close to my heart with a care deeper than the world's applause or disappointment could ever offer. The cares you might be juggling, worries about the state of your family, secret questions about your identity and purpose, none of these are too heavy for my hands. Even before your anxieties erupt into words, I am present, quietly speaking, an anchor into your internal storm. There are things ahead that you cannot yet see, but I promise I will be the way through them. Imagine for a moment that gentle hand on your shoulder, the comfort that steadies trembling without demanding you be unshakable. When the worries crowd in, when the world's noise robs your clarity, I am your safe place. As you listen, if you can, whisper one thing you're grateful for. Say it aloud or write it down now. Allow yourself even a small act of surrender. Maybe all you can offer this morning is the release of your tight grip, the whisper of thanks for one breath, the willingness to begin again. Do not dismiss these as small. What you offer me, I magnify. Let your gratitude plant seeds in the soil of today and trust that I will water them. Growth may look different than you expect, but under my care, nothing is wasted. Maybe you wonder, but what if I fail again? What if nothing changes? I want you to hear me answer this fear, not with a rebuke, but with unshakable assurance. Your failures do not define the outcome of your story. I saw every misstep before you took your first. and I have written redemption into places you have not yet even stumbled into. Each time you falter, see me bending low, not to chastise but to lift you gently, again and again. There is no darkness that can swallow up the light I have spoken over you. My light is persistent, soft yet dazzling, warming what has grown cold in you. Place your hand over your heart and feel it steady. A simple touch of surrender. Breathe in my nearness. Exhale the weight not meant for your shoulders. Let your heart settle now into quiet. When you feel the ache for control, the undertow of needing to predict every outcome, trust this: I am not only the author of your beginning, but the faithful keeper of your unfolding. My timing is never hurried, never late. Yes, you may wrestle with patience, but each moment that feels like waiting is a moment I am nurturing what will one day astonish you. You are not falling behind. You are moving in step with my leading. Even when you cannot see movement on the surface, what looks dormant in your life, I am cultivating underground. There is great security in letting go. Even when letting go feels risky, if you could glimpse my intentions for you, fear would shrink. Each uncertainty, each longing for answers is known to me. I am not silent, not withholding. My words are balm for the questions that keep you up at night. They pulse steadily with hope. Even in the dark, I am whispering destiny over you. Can you feel it? That low hum of purpose that will not be silenced by delay. Let me remind you, you are not alone in this walk. Where others may come and go, where friendships may waver, I remain constant. Let this awareness become the lens through which you see every relationship, every opportunity that opens or closes. You do not have to fear closed doors. What is truly yours, no power can steal. My guidance is not confined by circumstance or blocked by any person's opinion. I will direct you on the right paths. And when you veer off, I will gently bring you back. Trust the peace that rises when you think of following me. It is a sign of my guidance, an anchor when your mind is restless. In these early steps, don't underestimate the strength being built within you. With each act of trust, I am equipping you to face what comes with grace and resilience you may not yet see. Every day you turn your gaze in my direction, every moment you choose gratitude over bitterness or hope over despair, you are aligning with the deep story I am writing in you. Hold on to this. My kindness pursues you. My mercy is greater than your doubts. My patience outlasts your hesitation. Allow yourself to be embraced by this certainty. You are not forgotten, not overlooked. Every promise I make, I reinforce with my unwavering presence. Even when your emotions shift like the weather, my commitment does not. I am shaping you into someone who reflects my peace even in turmoil. So as you continue today, carry with you this assurance. My hand is upon you, steady and protective, drawing you deeper into a life marked by purpose and love you cannot lose. I remain with you, committed to walking each step at your side. In these moments when the world still feels quiet, when you notice your heart racing with the memories of yesterday or the worries of tomorrow, remember that I am closer to you than your own pulse. Taste the air as it fills your lungs, the subtle coolness, the gentle weight of being alive. It is no accident that you are here. Each breath you take is received by me with full attention. I see when your mind drifts to anxious places, when you wonder if peace is possible for you, and I gather you in, present, undistracted. The very movement of your chest rising and falling is a small sign of my commitment. You may not see answers yet, but I ask you to allow my presence to interrupt your spirals. You are learning still how to pause and recognize the warmth I offer. Let each sunrise remind you that I choose you again and again, no matter what shadows linger at the edge of your thoughts. If you stretch your hand out in longing or in gratitude, trust that I notice even before you find words. There will be days with more questions than conclusions, but even your quietest sighs matter to me. Let your senses steady you. The texture of your blanket, the light through your window, the coffee warming your hands. Each detail is a language I use to say, you are not alone. Sometimes you compare your journey to others, measuring where you stand against their milestones or miracles. But my plans for you unfold on a sacred timetable, not hurried by your doubts or delayed by your past. Resist the urge to diminish yourself with what's unfinished. Let my steady voice root you. I don't demand perfection or relentless positivity. Bring me your honest disappointments and ask for vision that goes deeper than what's visible. When your patience feels spent, place your restless mind in my keeping, and remember that surrender is the gateway to new strength. This morning, I invite you to trust again, not because the path is simple, but because I walk beside you on it. Consider how gentle change can be. A fresh breeze moving the curtains, your shoulders loosening as you step into the day. Say quietly, I will trust. Let the words land. Begin this next moment with a breath given over to me. Whisper your smallest hope aloud. I hear it. My hands are open to every detail that concerns you. Finances, family, health, or the ache of not knowing what comes next. I hold the crooked roads and the sunlit stretches alike. If your thoughts start spiraling, I want you to pause. Press your palm to your heart. I am already there, steady and unshaken. You do not have to fix everything before you come close to me. If regret weighs on you, let it soften in my light, not as a shaming force, but as proof of your tenderness. Mistakes do not exclude you from my affection. In fact, your humility and desire to begin again are welcomed. Instead of hiding from your imperfections, allow me to meet you in them. I am not impatient with your process. You are being shaped with purpose and gentleness. Let gratitude stand beside your uncertainty. Notice the kindness that filters into your morning, a silent smile from someone passing, a wordless moment of comfort, the promise that you do not carry today by yourself. Invite me into your routines. Not only the grand gestures, sacrifice the myth that you must do more to earn my favor. You have my attention not because of achievement, but because you are beloved. You can build every moment out of this foundation. My love is not offered in installments, but poured out freely again and again. Your identity is not determined by the storms you face or the silence you sometimes endure. Do not measure your worth by the ease of your day or the applause of others. When you wake with heaviness, treat yourself with patient compassion. Let me whisper to your heart, you matter simply because I have called you mine. Each weakness is a window for my strength to become visible. Invite me into the spaces you guard most tightly. I will not force my way in, but I wait for even your smallest invitation. As you move forward, carry this with you. I am not a distant observer. My presence surrounds you in laughter, in the ache of longing, in the ordinary tasks that fill your hours. You have been called to this day and this moment, not as an accident, but as an act of divine intention. Open your spirit to the possibilities tucked inside the mundane. I am there, shaping hope and new beginnings in ways you cannot yet name. If you wonder how to keep going, start small. Find a moment where you allow silence to linger and notice that I am in it with you. When fear or discouragement feel louder than hope, lean into my voice. I promise to strengthen you where you feel weak and to give clarity at the right time. You are not navigating this alone. My guidance is as near as your next breath, and I am teaching you to listen in new ways beyond what you have known before. My dear one, you wonder if quietness is truly enough. If the hush you find in these moments can be more than just a pause between the noise. I assure you, this stillness, uncluttered and honest, is where my voice resounds more clearly than in all your striving. Rest your thoughts, let your shoulders loosen their hold, and feel how my comfort rises through the simple act of turning your heart toward me. You do not need to earn entrance to my presence with perfection or relentless doing. Right here, with your open and imperfect soul, I meet you with delight. Pause and notice how the morning's first light slips across the floor, or how your own breath steadies when you remember you are not alone. These ordinary sensations are sacred. I designed them so you could touch my peace even in the smallest details. Take seriously the doubts that taunt your heart, but do not let them become your only truth. The question, "What if I fail?" will visit you perhaps often, but I hold your future, forming it in ways you cannot see from today's ground. I am not measuring your value by your performance. When anxiety whispers, let it draw you back to me, the unfailing source. Inhale deeply, and with each breath, yield a layer of your worries. Feel warmth settle on your chest as I steady the spinning places inside. Your anxieties are not ignored. I draw nearer to you in vulnerability than I do in your attempts at self-sufficiency. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Sometimes you ask whether you have what it takes to love those around you well. Family brings both joy and ache, and I understand how easily hope can be strained by disappointment. You notice patterns that trouble you, habits or wounds that seem to pass from generation to generation. But with me, cycles can end. New beginnings blossom, sometimes quietly, sometimes unexpectedly. Even when you cannot see the fruit yet, trust the slow rhythms of transformation, the softening of your spirit, a kinder word shared, old resentment surrendered. These are seeds I water. Celebrate every small step as evidence that my hand is gently reshaping your story. Surrender is not loss, beloved. To let go in my presence is to finally know freedom, unchained from outcomes and timelines. Each time you unclench your grasp on what you cannot control, you make room for me to carry you further than your plans would dare. Picture yourself exhaling every anxious what if, feeling it dissipate as you give me space to be your defender and guide. You might hear your own heartbeat slow as stillness grows. In the quiet, I am orchestrating details, bending even unforeseen detours, so that goodness can work its way into every corner of your journey. Perhaps a sense of restlessness gnaws at you, a longing for visible change, for breakthrough, for the assurance of open doors. I have not forgotten your deepest prayers. Not one of your tears has slipped past my gaze. When you see no movement, I am still working under the surface, strengthening your roots so what eventually emerges will not wither but flourish. Pause and notice the evidence of my presence in subtle ways. The conversation that softens a hard week, the unexpected comfort given through another's kindness, the growing resilience within your own heart. My guidance is seldom hurried, but always sure. You may wonder about timing, whether you have missed your moment, fallen behind, or stepped ahead. I want you to see that my timing is not a race, but a gentle unfolding. Nothing is wasted in me. Delays serve their purpose, as do accelerations. Even your missteps can become paths that teach you wisdom when surrendered into my hands. When you feel pressure mounting or impatience bristling at your spirit, close your eyes and picture my hand resting reassuringly upon your shoulder. My presence anchors you where you are, so you do not need to flee into anxious activity or regret. Let gratitude become your steady ground, even if it feels like a single candle flickering in the dark. The practice of naming what you are thankful for is not denial of what aches, but a courageous declaration that hope is real and I am near. Look around and note the things that persist. The warmth of a sunbeam, the laughter of a child, even the grace to take another step. Let your heart linger on these gifts long enough for joy to take root again. I renew your perspective and steady your spirit through gratitude. Simple practice. This is how burdens begin to lighten. You are never anonymous or unseen to me. I know every hope stirring in your chest and every weariness tucked away. The world may overlook or misunderstand you, but in me you are chosen, loved, significant. My affirmation is not fickle, depending on what you achieve or how others respond. Ground yourself in this identity and let it shape the way you carry yourself into each day. You are not defined by your past, your regrets, or others' opinions. You are mine with a destiny handcrafted in love. Hold close the truth that you are protected. Even when vulnerability leaves you feeling exposed, I surround you like a shelter from the storm, forming a barrier of peace when anxiety swells. Picture the gentle strength of my arms cradling you. And do not fear to rest. In moments of uncertainty or when threats seem to gather, return your attention to my steadfastness. Protection in my presence is not the absence of struggle, but the assurance that you never face trial alone. Beloved, my invitation is simple but profound. Return to me throughout your day again and again. No matter how afraid or distracted you feel, as you remember me in the ordinary, washing dishes, driving, pausing at work, I refresh you. Your strength is not measured by constant striving, but by your willingness to be interrupted by my love. Let routine moments become sacred meetings with the one who created you for relationship, not performance. Draw near, and I will continue to draw near to you, surprising you with new depths of peace and belonging. You have felt it as a stirring deep within you, a pull you could not explain. Sometimes gentle as a whisper, other times undeniable as a rushing current. I am the one who breathes life where it seemed all doors stood sealed. And I am not finished awakening places inside you that have grown weary from hope deferred. Your longing is not weakness, beloved. It is proof that your spirit is still alive to possibilities I am planting even now. Sit quietly, press your hand over your heart, and notice the rhythm I set inside you. A song of endurance and anticipation rising again. That gentle warmth humming beneath your skin is not random. It is my nearness signaling I have always been this close. As shadows try to cloud your senses, I break through with light that chases every echo of despair. You wonder, what if I risk again? and nothing changes. But child, the greatest transformation is not always in your circumstances, but in the strength and softness I am shaping within you. Now, the anxiety that has gripped your chest is not your inheritance. Release it into my embrace. I am your peace. You have been told resilience means never breaking, but I tell you, the power is in daily yielding, in letting me mend what the world cracked. I do not scorn your weakness. I glorify myself by making you unbreakable through every fracture. Rest in that. Let your heart soak in this truth. The story I am writing for you does not end in defeat. There is a pattern you have carried, a carefulness, a shrinking back, and it no longer serves you. I am calling you out of hiding, not to expose your wounds to harshness, but to set you free. My gaze is gentle. My touch restores what shame tried to erase. The world has labeled you by your missteps and measured you by what you lost. I call you chosen, marked, and redeemed. This is not a theory or distant wish. This is the unshakable verdict of your Creator. You belong deeply and forever. Pause. Let those words like medicine sink into raw places inside you. In the quiet, do you feel the air changing? The subtle certainty that something holy is afoot. Even as doubts knock loudly at the door of your mind, remember faith is not the absence of fear, but the determination to trust despite trembling. I am more patient with your process than you are. Your hesitance does not disqualify you from miracles in motion. Let go of having to understand every step. My ways are higher, my vision wider, and I promise to lead you into green pastures, even from barren fields. My record is flawless, every promise kept, whether you see its end or not. Trust that when you stand at the edge of what you know, I am already paving paths into your tomorrow. Some of you feel the ancient ache of being misunderstood, overlooked in favor of louder voices or stronger personalities. To you, I say, I am the God who notices the unnoticed. In your stillness, I have heard the cries you never dared to speak, and in your diligence, I see an offering more precious than applause. Let comparison fall away now. I did not design you to measure yourself by another's journey. My purposes for you are custom crafted, specific in detail, and fitted exactly for your capacities and longings. There is breakthrough ahead, not as reward for perfection, but as a fruit of continued surrender. Your willingness to open even the smallest door to me initiates a tidal shift in your story. Breathe. Recognize how the very act of being present right now is itself victory over despair. My child, you underestimate the weight your yes carries. Not only in your life, but in the unseen world. When you agree with my truth, when you speak aloud that you are loved, chains begin to crack. There is something I must show you about your scars. They are not signs of failure, but seals of survival. Beauty born of battle. Let shame release its grip. You are not who you were, you are becoming new. Even if the change feels slow, trust that I never stop working. Pause for a moment, feel your chest rise and fall, and remember, I am orchestrating renewal within you. When you wake tomorrow, clarity will begin to pierce confusion as surely as dawn breaks night's hold. Watch for moments of unexplainable peace seeping into ordinary places. At the kitchen sink, in traffic, during conversation. You will know it is me because the weight will lift and laughter will bubble up where heaviness had settled in. I am doing what only I can do. Stay open. You are not alone in this journey. Others beside you are rising into freedom. Even now, a quiet movement spanning beyond what you can see. This has always been more than just about you. Together, you are part of an awakening that will shift the very atmosphere. There is more to uncover, more to receive. Lean in, child, for I am just beginning to unravel the fullness of what I have hidden for you in this season. Your next step is upon you. Before you finish this listening, write down one small step you'll take in the next 72 hours to open to that confirmation. Will you keep your heart open even now? You have carried silent questions deep within you, the kind that linger just below every surface victory and every quiet moment alone. My beloved, I know the ache that pulls at your thoughts when no one is looking, and the way you wonder if anyone truly sees the depth of your battle. I am not distant from your wrestling. Even now, I am as close as breath in your lungs, attentive to every flicker of doubt, every sigh you let escape when you think hope is out of reach. Breathe in slowly. Let your soul remember that I am near, unfailing in presence, unchanging in love. Allow the weight on your chest to soften as you sense my peace wrapping you, assuring you that you are not alone here. Let yourself rest for a moment in that certainty. In this very space, I speak peace over your swirling thoughts. You are not required to have every answer or to resolve every question by sheer will. In your uncertainty, my steadiness is at work. I have never expected you to be strong in your own power. Instead, I desire you to come undone in my arms, trusting that I gather every scattered piece. Do you feel the gentleness surrounding you now? The invitation to unclench your fists and surrender what you cannot hold together? You have been trying to prove your worth by striving, but I already called you worthy before your first breath. There is a new security forming beneath your feet as you let me carry what you cannot bear. There is a sacred courage I wish to impart to you in this season. The brave act of rest and surrender. Rest is not laziness, beloved. It is warfare against every lie that says you must earn my favor. I see the moments where fear of failure nips at your steps, causing anxiety to tighten around your chest. This battle is not just for your circumstances, but for your heart's agreement with truth over deception. Let my stillness quiet those fears. As you pause, place your hand over your heart and feel the steady rhythm of life within. I am in the heartbeat. I am in every breath. That consistency is my promise to you. I am never leaving, never forsaking, never retreating from your side. Some days you believe that if you do not perform well enough, I will withhold the blessing you desperately crave. But I have not tied my faithfulness to your perfection. My promises were spoken over you before your worst mistake, before your greatest stumble. I know which fears have crept in and which walls you have raised to shield the most tender places inside. Even so, my love does not shrink back. My healing moves through every scar and every wound, turning pain into testimony. Release the inner demand to appear unbreakable. My strength is your covering, and my grace is your safe haven. Allow tenderness to find you. Do you feel it now? How the air around you has shifted? The sense of something sacred lingering. This is not imagined. I am flooding your environment with my nearness, opening your senses to my reality. Your heart may race, your breathing might change. That is simply your entire being awakening to presence. Pause. Notice how the heaviness is lifting, even for just a moment. In this atmosphere, let yourself believe that my plans for you are still intact. Nothing you have endured has ruined your calling. Every delay, every disappointment, every setback has become ground for growth, with not evidence of abandonment. I know you wonder if any of this is true for you, or if you are the exception, the one left behind while others move forward. Listen closely. You are not forgotten, nor are you excluded from what I am preparing. The doors closing were not for your destruction, but for your protection. Loss was never the end of your story. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Soon you'll see moments of unexpected favor, like a gentle encounter today that feels orchestrated just for you, or a conversation within the next 3 days that brings clarity into confusion. When this happens, you will know it is me, confirming that I tailor blessings to the details of your life. I have seen you comparing your journey to those around you, measuring your progress against another's visible triumph. Little one, nothing in my kingdom is wasted, not even what others might overlook. You are not running late. You have not missed your opportunity beyond recovery. My timing reconstructs what has been broken, sometimes in ways that surprise even your greatest hopes. If you feel resistance in your spirit to believe again, do not scold yourself for it. Simply acknowledge the aching places and bring them to me. My touch restores trust where disappointment once built walls. There is a shift beginning now in the way you view yourself, shaped not by criticism, but by my proclamation over your life. Pause and listen. You are mine. You are chosen, marked, and appointed long before doubt made its entrance. Say it softly if you dare. I am beloved. Let those words seep into your marrow, rewriting every script that shame has repeated in your mind. Old labels fall away when my voice breaks through. New identity, new hope. These are the birthrights I declare over you. You may feel waves of relief mingled with old fear trying to reclaim its hold. That's normal, and it's not a sign of failure. In fact, every time you notice fear and choose to step toward peace, transformation is taking root. I am teaching you to walk by trust, surrendering control without losing your worth. Each act of letting go invites breakthrough. Not because circumstances shift instantly, but because your inner world aligns with kingdom reality. Be patient with yourself in this process. The more you yield, the more you will sense my wisdom directing your steps, even in decisions that once overwhelmed you. Stop for just a moment. Breathe deeply. Let your body register the safety of this space. You are shielded here, hidden within the strength of my embrace. If you close your eyes, you might sense currents of hope stirring beneath the surface of your weariness. The breakthrough you've longed for is unfolding on the inside first. Soon it will be visible, but the roots I am establishing now will hold strong through every future storm. There is more unraveling ahead, more to release, and more to receive. Surrender is not a single act, but a continual invitation. I am rewriting your story with relentless compassion, and I will not stop until I finish what I began. There is something I must reveal about your capacity. What you considered weakness is the very place my power shines through you brightest. Those doubts you wrestle with are not disqualifications. They are invitations into greater dependence. Tonight, as you lay your head to rest, you will feel an unfamiliar peace blanket your mind. Pay attention. It will differ from fleeting comfort. It will plant assurance deep in your soul. That will be my signature on your day, a sign that I am actively nurturing new faith within you. Even when you struggle to see progress, you are not moving backward. Even steps that feel like detours are drawing you closer to the heart of your true calling. I am pruning away what no longer serves you, not to diminish you, but to position you for the abundance I desire to pour out. At times, this removal will sting. It is proof of your preciousness to me, that I am unwilling to let you settle for less than you were created for. You do not need to fear the voids left behind. I am filling them gradually with life and meaning you cannot yet comprehend. Let your heart trust that what is coming is greater than what has gone. Your life is not an isolated story. Others are watching, longing to see how someone so marked by wounds can radiate hope. There's a hidden movement in the spirit, those gathered by my hand from every background, finding healing as you do. You are both student and messenger in this season. Do not underestimate the impact of your quiet yes, your whispered surrender. Each time you agree with my voice instead of the old lies, you become a channel through which my love flows outward, reshaping futures beyond your own. Pay attention to the little moments, the unremarkable routines of your day. In these, I am setting ambushes of joy and clarity. You might find yourself smiling for no reason, or suddenly sensing gratitude break through the fog of disappointment. This is not random. It is the evidence of my spirit-breathing resurrection into places long dormant. Let wonder take root again. Even on the days that feel painfully ordinary, I am unveiling glory, inviting you to recognize my fingerprints everywhere you look. I am not done revealing myself to you in new ways. Let anticipation awaken. There are depths of intimacy and layers of purpose yet untouched, waiting for your discovery. Still, the invitation remains. Let go once more, deeper than before, and watch as I reshape what you thought was beyond healing. Allow me to guide you where you have never dared to go before. I promise I will never leave your side. There is more to be uncovered, and I am leading you there step by step. Child, do not be afraid to bring your weariness to me. When questions rise up and press upon your heart without answer, know this: I am not silent in your confusion. In that very moment when you ache for clarity, I am near, watching over you with a steady, unfailing gaze. You worry that you are overlooked, that somehow the dreams you once cherished have faded into shadows. But I have not forgotten even one hope you carry, nor do I minimize the weight you feel today. My presence is with you, invisible perhaps, but as real as the air resting on your skin. When you feel surrounded by noise and competing voices, step back for a moment. Find the quiet place in your spirit where my peace waits like soft rain. Let your breathing slow, settle your shoulders, uncurl your hands, and invite me into the non-answers. You're not required to solve everything before dawn or to have the strength to move mountains all at once. For I am the one who holds tomorrow and crafts each morning bright with newness. Simply lean into me right here with the uncertainty still unresolved. I am not frustrated by your questions. I welcome them. Let me remind you, dear one, your worth is never measured by how much you accomplish or how seamlessly you perform in the daylight. The world may demand constant proof, but I see deeper. I see the beauty in your willingness to rise and greet each day with hope, even if you do so quietly. In the hush before the sun, take a moment to notice the gentleness of light as it spills into your room. That is my kindness reaching for you, a silent embrace to steady your heart. Sometimes your past or unmet expectations may shout, insisting that you are defined by unfinished pages. But I have always been writing a far greater story with you, one where mistakes do not disqualify, where grace finds you even in hidden corners. Allow my mercy to breathe fresh courage into you. Every time you pause to acknowledge me, even with just a grateful sigh, you plant a seed, and I promise to nurture it. Your smallest act of trust moves me deeply. If anxiety trembles in your chest, offer me even that. Let your worries come to me as they are, raw and unfiltered. Don't try to disguise your fears. I can handle the full force of them. Bring them to me as a child offers simple treasures, and watch me transform fretfulness into steadiness. Listen not only with your ears, but with your soul, for my assurance is not always thunderous. Sometimes it arrives like a gentle whisper navigating the hallways of your mind. You wonder if your pace is too slow, if perhaps you've missed a window of opportunity. I tell you, nothing is wasted in my timing. The seasons of stillness are not delays, but sacred pauses where I am preparing more than you can fathom. Trust that when it feels as if you are standing still, I am at work beneath the surface, nurturing roots strong enough to withstand coming storms. Trust in my ability to redeem the time. My hands bless both the harvest and the waiting. Draw near to me when weariness covers you like a heavy blanket. Even the smallest offering, a whispered prayer, a breath of thanks, a glance upward, is precious to me. When you confess your need, I lean in with attentiveness and pour gentle strength into your spirit. Do not underestimate the quiet victories we win together, nor the grace that upholds you when no one else sees. My love remains relentless, willing to meet you in weakness and cradle you gently back to hope. As your day unfolds, know that provision is not just the filling of your hands, but also the restoring of your perspective. When disappointments surface, receive my comfort like sunlight warming closed windows, pushing back the chill of disillusionment. Invite me into the real, living details of your routine, your commute, your meals, your silent thoughts. In every ordinary hour, I am here, transforming moments into opportunities for you to sense my nearness again. Do not let your heart be troubled by the things yet unfinished, or the paths you have not yet walked. My guidance is not a distant promise, but a living presence, steadying each step. Trust me to reveal the path in the fullness of time. When uncertainty tempts you to grasp for control, remember that I hold the map. Offer me your need for certainty, and in its place receive my peace, which outlasts every storm and confusion. Lay aside perfection for the comfort of my embrace. When you fix your thoughts on your shortcomings or compare your journey to another's, you blur the specific. Tender work I am forming in you. Refuse the voice that demands flawless progress. Allow yourself to walk freely, hand in hand with me, knowing I delight in the one who moves forward, however slowly, with honest surrender. Your life is precious, not because you have everything figured out, but because you belong to me. I call you mine, not subject to every verdict spoken over you, not captured by the expectations of others. I am your defender, your unshakable foundation, the voice that calls you beloved, even in the midst of your doubts. Listen for my affirmation echoing quietly over your thoughts. Let your family and your relationships rest in my keeping too. Worrying for them will not add a day to their journey. Entrust them to my care with open hands. Allow yourself a moment right now to imagine my hand resting lightly on their heads, protecting and guiding them even when you cannot. My love is strong enough to surround you all, always seeking your good. If despair tries to settle in the corners of your mind, counter it with truth. I am with you in every valley and on every height. There is no shadow dark enough to hide you from my sight, and no fear too large for my love to absorb. When pain feels sharpest, lean into me as your refuge, and let my gentleness soften the ache until hope rises again within you. Hear me now, little one. Today is not empty, no hour is wasted, no prayer unheard. Even in what seems like silence, I am shaping you, drawing you closer, preparing what you cannot yet see. Let the knowledge of my constant attention anchor you. Take one slow, steady breath. You have all of my presence right now. That is enough. Let the assurance of my affection settle deep into your bones. When doubts flicker, remember the tenderness with which I crafted your heart. Step out with courage, not in your own sufficiency, but with the humble confidence that I am guiding, guarding, and gracing every new beginning and every lingering concern. The day ahead holds unknowns, but you never face them alone. Nothing escapes my notice, precious one. Even as you step into rooms filled with uncertainty and faces that seem unreadable, I am already present, making space for you at every table and planting my peace deep within your heart. Let your breathing steady under my sheltering hand. Rest here. The world may hurry you, but I call you to move at the pace of my assurance. When anxieties try to crowd the edges of your mind, return to that quiet center where I speak softly, where my presence re-enters your soul and steadies your trembling hands. In that silence, feel burdens lift a little, as if I am gently loosening knots within you. The moments you felt overlooked did not diminish your value in my eyes. I saw every sigh, each weary pause you thought went unnoticed, every silent prayer echoing through your nights. I see the tears withheld for the sake of others, the way you offer strength when you feel empty yourself. My affirmation rises above all human approval. Let your heart lean toward my voice that calls you chosen, wanted, and capable. Take solace in my delight over you. Even now, I'm renewing your confidence, not through a clamor of achievements, but through stillness where you sense my steady gaze. You may question whether your quiet surrender even matters. Know this. Every act of letting go draws you closer to the freedom I desire for you. It is not about proving your worth or pushing through exhaustion. Rather, in the surrender of your ambitions, anxieties, and outcomes, you find my sustaining power lifting you above what should have broken you. Remember how dawn breaks gradually, not with a sudden blaze, but with gentle light unfolding. So I reawaken hope within you. Not dramatic perhaps, but persistent and sure. Breathe in the assurance that surrender is not the end, but an invitation into my greater provision. Do not despise small beginnings. The seeds of trust you plant today, tiny moments of gratitude, the habit of pausing before you react, the willingness to extend grace, these are already producing growth you may not yet perceive. Just as new shoots push through the soil towards sunlight they cannot see, my work in your life continues beneath the surface. When discouragement tries to settle in, remember that my timing is not cruel delay, but patient love. Your willingness to wait on me trains you for greater things, building resilience that will outlast every storm. There will be days when heaviness threatens to settle over your shoulders, days when your progress feels painfully slow. In those moments, notice the warmth of sunlight against your skin or the gentle sound of your breath. These are not just happenstance. They are reminders of my nearness in the ordinary. I am in every heartbeat, every inhalation, whispering words of courage you might overlook. If shame creeps close, reject its hold. I call you beloved, not because of flawless performance, but because I shaped you for belonging. Allow my truth to challenge any voice that sows doubt or fear. Even when you struggle to forgive yourself for past missteps or present imperfections, my grace is patient, never rushing your healing. Release condemning thoughts into my safekeeping. Each time you choose to believe again that change is possible, you partner with my spirit at work within you. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Lift your eyes, even for a moment, from self-judgment to expectancy. I am always creating new paths and possibilities where you see only endings. Trust that nothing is wasted in my hands. Not regret, not delay, not even confusion. I purpose it all for your strengthening. Sometimes weariness clings to you because you carry more than I ever asked you to hold. Place those invisible burdens, those fears about the future, the unspoken disappointments, into my care. Let yourself feel how I come close, lightening what was too much for you alone. You don't have to perform for me. Your worth is not based on relentless striving. Simply let my love become your root and reason again. Draw from it, and you will find your resilience being restored bit by bit in places you once felt depleted. When you reach the edge of what you can handle and questions rise like tides, what if I never see breakthrough? Will things really work for my good? Don't recoil in despair. Hear me. I am never frustrated by your doubts. Instead, I anchor you through uncertainty, reminding you that my faithfulness is not dependent on your feelings. Rest in the knowledge that every shadow will yield to my light in time. Keep making space for me in your day. A whispered "I trust you" in the quiet hour creates holy ground where miracles begin to bud. You are not defined by the moments you wavered, by the doors that have closed, or by the unfinished chapters. I am authoring a new story where you discover fresh capacity, unexpected relief, and joy rising from unlikely places. Stay attentive to opportunities that seem small, for they carry my fingerprints. Each gentle nudge to reach out to another, to extend compassion or forgiveness, to risk again in hope. These are signs that you are walking in step with me. Even when you feel unseen by others, know that I celebrate every courageous yes. So let your heart open to wonder once more. Trust that I am here in your ordinary, and that my approval covers you more surely than any fleeting applause. As you walk forward hand in hand with me, expect my presence to renew your strength even as you navigate slow seasons. Rejoice in the daily mercies I scatter along your path. A sunrise after a fitful night, laughter with loved ones, the settling of peace at day's end. When you taste joy in tiny sips, that too is my gift. Building your hope for what is yet to come. There is a shift taking place within you as you read these words. An awakening that reaches deeper than your own understanding. I am revealing to you the dimensions of who you truly are, not through the condemnation of your past, but by unfolding the brilliance I have designed in your spirit. Remember, nothing about your history is wasted. I turn even the ashes into avenues for beauty to flourish. With every breath, you are being transformed, healed, and prepared for what comes next. Many times you have felt disqualified, as if every failure carved a permanent mark on your soul. Yet I speak now over those places. You are chosen, marked by my hand, set apart for encounters others may never witness. Let that sink in, not as motivation, but as truth written in the marrow of your bones. Do you feel the weight of this moment? Everything up to now has been preparation for the commissioning I am beginning within you. You do not need to strive or perform for approval. My delight in you is not attached to your perfection, but to the openness of your heart before me. When you feel resistance rising, or the old voice saying you are not enough, pause and breath. Place your hand over your heart and notice the rhythm. That pulsing beat is evidence. I am sustaining you even when your strength feels spent. This is holy ground right here, where your fragile human ache meets my relentless divine pursuit. I am near. The world measures worth by accomplishment and applause, but I measure by yieldedness, by how readily you return to me when you wander. You are being stripped of identities that never belonged to you, worn labels, second-hand expectations, crippling fear. In their place, I am writing something indelible. You are mine, beloved, never forsaken. Beloved child, there is an anointing awakening inside you now, one that cannot remain dormant because I placed it there before you saw daylight. When you feel unworthy, remember that your worth was determined in my heart before a single flaw appeared. Every time you said yes to me in small, trembling ways, I set a signpost in your spirit for days like this. Days when victory feels out of reach and hope seems faint. The battle raging around your mind right now isn't random. The enemy has sensed what is about to ignite within you, and that is why opposition has intensified. But hear me. The heavier the pressure, the greater the oil that flows from your surrender. Don't despise the pressing. I am making you into one who heals as you have been healed. You are not being overlooked. There are doors opening, silent and unseen, and you are being drawn forward. Set a small, tangible intention now. Speak one word, yes, trust, beloved, and carry it with you as a reminder. I know the part of you that doubts this is even possible. I know the pain that makes you reluctant to believe for change, convinced that disappointment is safer than hope. Let me carry that fear. I never asked you to guard yourself from the good I am bringing. I simply ask you to be willing to let your heart be found open again. Right now, as you read, choose to trust me enough to risk believing differently. Say aloud, I am not abandoned. I am not forgotten. I am being sent. The atmosphere is shifting around you. Can you feel the air in the room, how it stills when my presence enters? That tingling on your skin, the unexpected warmth, is the evidence of my nearness. This is not emotional trickery or imagination. This is the overflow of my spirit flooding the places you have kept hidden, even from yourself. Sit in this presence. Notice how your breathing settles, how the noise of mental accusation grows faint. This is where true transformation happens, not when storms vanish, but when you realize the storm cannot uproot what I hold secure. You are entrenched in grace. Whatever shakes, you remain secure. Stop scrolling through your regrets. Right now, I'm inviting you to forgive yourself for what you could not fix. I already knew the timelines you would miss, the seasons you'd stumble. Hear me. I redeem lost time. Nothing is too far gone for me to revive. Where you feel wasted years, I plant new beginnings. Your story is a beacon. Even now, as weariness tugs at your resolve, I am infusing you with fresh strength. Let gratitude rise like breath. Think back to one moment this week where you sensed me. Even if faint, replay that memory and allow joy to bubble up. This is how you anchor yourself when emotions falter. Others are rising with you. Sons, daughters, dreamers on the verge of awakening. You are not isolated. Thousands unseen are answering the same call, stepping out of shadows, lighting up the very places the world declared hopeless. Stop. Let that truth wash over you. You are never alone. Even as questions swirl and the next step looks unclear, you are surrounded, shielded, covered, pulled ever closer into my purpose. I will not fail you. There is more unfolding. The next step waits inside your surrender. If you feel moved, reach out to one person today with a simple word of kindness. Make that small, brave act your first step. There are days ahead when courage will be tested, when the familiar ache of uncertainty knocks at your door. In those moments, remember this: everything inside you has been strengthened by my presence. You are not who you were. You are my vessel, commissioned for impact far beyond what your mind can picture. Hold this word close. Bring it to your heart again and again. I will keep speaking, guiding, preparing you for all that is to come. There is a momentum beginning that nothing can halt, for I am the one who calls and equips. You stand on the threshold, beloved. The horizon is already glowing with dawn's first light. You do not walk this path alone, and every step you take is known and cherished by me. I have seen the heaviness you sometimes carry in your heart, the way you hesitate to trust the grace unfolding beneath your feet. Yet I am nearer than your thoughts, inviting you to pause and sense my assurance like a gentle wind on your skin. Let my presence be your true foundation, my whispered guidance, the anchor that holds you steady through confusion and change. Release the fear that presses in when the unknown rises before you. My vision for you is so much greater than you can see from the valley. Open your hands to me, surrendering not only your desires, but the burdens that leave you weary at dawn and restless at dusk. As you come before me with questions that seem to have no answers, know that my silence is not absence, but a deep working within you. I am cultivating wisdom and patience in the quiet. It is there that I tune your heart to discern my gentle direction. Rest in the knowledge that my timing is never rushed, and what appears delayed is often my way of preparing you for goodness that far exceeds your expectations. When you wake in the quiet hours and wonder if your surrender has made any difference, look for me in the subtle shifts, the courage that rises unbidden, the peace that grows in unlikely places. You are learning to trust my process, to trust that I waste nothing. Not your tears, not your devotion, not even your doubts. Let gratitude become more than a thought. Let it be a living practice that shapes how you see yourself and this day I give you. Even now, pause and recall the small hidden gifts layered throughout your ordinary moments. The laughter shared around the table, the warmth in your chest after a kind word, the gentle morning light filtering through your window. In these details, I reveal my steadfast love, reminding you that I am not distant or removed, but gladly present in every fragment of your life. When anxiety presses you to rush or control, slow your breath and shelter under the assurance that your future is safe in my hands. You have wondered if your weakness disqualifies you, if the persistent faults of yesterday disqualify you from my calling. Hear me. There is no condemnation for you in my presence, only invitation. My mercy is new every time you dare to reach for it. meeting you at the threshold between regret and hope. Take a moment to lay down the old stories, the ones you revisit when shame tries to settle in your heart. Allow me to speak new words over you, words of belonging and holy possibility. I never tire of reminding you that your identity is secure. The failures of the past are not greater than the love that defines you. There is strength to be found when you risk vulnerability before me, when you bring not only your needs, but your hidden wounds into the light. I am the healer of broken places, the one who draws near when sorrow and hope collide. Let your honesty create space for me to do what only I can, bringing comfort that seeps in below the surface and courage that gently remakes your outlook. My child, you do not have to fend for yourself, nor perfect yourself before coming near. Run toward me with your whole heart. Nothing delights me more than your desire for closeness and truth. I will never shame you for your longing to be held together. There are glimmers of destiny calling to you through the details of your daily life. Do not underestimate the significance of your faithfulness in ordinary things, where you show up in love, where you choose patience over impulse. You create room for my grace to transform circumstances and hearts. Notice how I multiply even your smallest seeds of kindness, how I tip the balance toward good when you refuse to give up. When the path ahead is unclear, trust that my Spirit is already preparing the way. Each step of obedience brings you closer to the fullness I have prepared. Wait on me without worry, because I never abandon my own. My love surrounds your family, those you call your own, and those you nurture in spirit. Pray for them not as one desperate for control, but as one confident that I hold their unfolding stories with profound care. Let go of the urge to fix what is not yours to mend. Instead, celebrate each sign of progress, each whisper of hope that rises in their journey. As you entrust them to me, let a deep peace settle where anxiety once rooted itself. Trust that my hand is active even when you cannot see, that I am pursuing the hearts of those you most deeply love with patient and enduring compassion. In moments when the world grows loud and opinions swirl around you, come back to my simple invitation to be still. Listen for my voice beneath the noise and let my truth steady your perspective. When conflicts drain your resolve or expectations seem impossibly high, remember that your worth is measured only by my unwavering affection. Sink roots into this truth, not by striving, but by resting in the reality that I celebrate you as you are. Even as I gently guide you forward, my approval is not fleeting or based on your performance, but flows from the constancy of my being. Each day holds the potential for new peace when you choose to release what you cannot control and lean into my promises. Practice this trust like a steady rhythm, breathing, remembering, surrendering, until anxiety gives way to quiet hope. Stand tall in the knowledge that you are not defined by what the future might hold, nor by the shifting sands of circumstance, but by the steadfastness of my presence with you now. The sunrise signals a new beginning, and with each dawn I invite you again. Draw near, remain open, and watch as my goodness unfolds in ways both familiar and wonderfully unexpected. You sense it now, the culmination of all I have whispered throughout this sacred journey. My presence is closer than your own breath, a shelter encircling you as you absorb the depth of all I have spoken. Let yourself settle and recognize this truth. You were never aimless, never wandering unseen, but guided step by step, even through the shadows that once threatened to obscure your hope. Each moment of doubt was an invitation for you to discover just how unwavering my faithfulness is toward you. The places you once hid from me, those quiet fears you thought disqualified you, have instead become altars of transformation, where I have declared you clean, strong, and marked by purpose. My love was not withheld while you wrestled. Instead, it met you in your questions, wrapped arms of mercy around your trembling, and began the slow, steady reconstruction of your identity from brokenness to beloved. You are rising even now into a new day where shame cannot follow and the lies lose their voice. Open your hands and realize that surrender has brought you into true freedom. Not less of yourself, but more of who I designed you to be. No accusation from the past can outshout my affirmation over your future. Every place that once ached from rejection now pulses with acceptance because I say you are chosen. You are precious to me, and nothing can separate you from the relentless affection I pour out. Feel the electrical hum beneath your skin, that sense of anticipation. I am awakening the dormant dreams you buried beneath disappointment and fatigue. Your capacity to love and be loved is expanding because I am enlarging your heart to carry what only you and I could hold together. Pause. Listen to the stillness coursing through the room and sense the peace sitting upon you like a gentle mantle. That rest is evidence I am near. That the storm you weathered did not overpower you, but instead cleared the old debris to make room for new growth. Notice how your perspective has shifted. What once looked like delay now reveals itself as incubation, preparation for the greater works I have reserved for this hour of your story. You are not running out of time. I am redeeming the time. The tears you cried in hidden places have watered the soil where wildflowers of joy now break through, declaring that restoration has begun. I am teaching you to see with resurrected eyes, to interpret pain not as cruel punishment, but as the very ground from which resurrection emerges. Your voice carries weight in the unseen. When you lean in and align with what I speak, chains break, not only for you, but for those connected to your life. Your breakthroughs ripple outward, setting captives free in places your feet may never touch. Because faith is never isolated, you are a carrier of hope, the answer to prayers whispered in midnight fear by others longing for the assurance you now carry. Remember the heaviness you once bore alone? Now it is light. Not because circumstances are perfect, but because I am yoked with you, bearing the burden and supplying supernatural strength for every step. From this place of union, new assignments await. Today, as you move through familiar routines, you'll feel uncanny courage rise within. We do not waste pain. I do not gloss over sorrow. Every drop is gathered, every groan cataloged in my heart, and every longing you've trusted to me is becoming the seedbed for multiplied joy. My beloved child, even the hardest goodbyes prepare you to say yes to more profound encounters with me. As you quiet your spirit right now, feel my hand steadying yours, my breath infusing courage into your very bones. You are part of a movement rising from obscurity, a people marked by resilience, recognized not by what they lack, but by the fierce love that endures through disappointment and opposition. You carry the authority of one who has suffered and overcome. And now your life becomes a living signpost for others desperate to know if hope is possible. When fear hisses that the journey's end is disappointment, answer with the certainty that my story for you always bends toward goodness. Even when the path curves through valleys you did not choose, breathe. Sense the steady beat of your heart as the echo of my unwavering commitment. You are intertwined with eternity itself. There is more, always more. But for this moment, rest in what I have done within you. Let your gratitude spill over right where you sit. Smile at the memory of victories, however small, and notice the warmth that radiates within as you recall moments when you almost gave up, but didn't. That endurance was not of your own making. It was my spirit interceding, carrying you when fatigue screamed for surrender. You have become a place where my glory dwells. Not because you are flawless, but because you are wholly yielded, open and ready for new infillings each day you awaken. Let the world see you shining, not to spotlight yourself, but to magnify the one who called you out of darkness and set you ablaze for purposes beyond what eyes can count. In the coming days, be watchful. I will send confirmation through the lips of strangers. I will align your steps with sudden open doors you could not manufacture through striving. Embrace the surprises as signals of my involvement. And when you are unsure, return here, to my promises, my presence, my peace. You are never without guidance. You are never without love. Keep returning to the axis of my nearness, for it is the anchor that steadies you, regardless of storms or sunshine. Lift your face. Let hope make its home inside your soul. You are not the same. The transformation is real, irreversible, and unfolding with every act of obedience. I have shaped you for this era, an ambassador of reconciliation and healing. You will carry light into places untouched by hope. And in the process, you will witness miracles, both quiet and wild. My seal is upon you. My blessing is within you. My word over your life cannot return empty. Hold your head high. I delight in you. If this word stirred something deep within you, stay connected to these daily reminders of my faithfulness. Press that button now, not just for content, but for communion. I will meet you here tomorrow, speaking life again into the places that need it most. Amen.